so no one is sleeping. Students, last lecture we all had started with the unit endocrinology. In that we have just discussed that what is the signaling. So, can anyone tell me what is the signaling? Signaling means, see, these cells, they are communicating with each other. So we have seen there are various type of signaling: endocrine signaling, then autocrine signaling, paracrine signaling. So in that we are here focusing on the endocrine signaling. So endocrine signaling is something like that means to a distance organ you are just sending the signal. Now signal can be sent in two form. One is the neuronal form and the another type is the hormonal form. So this endocrinology, it deals with the sending signal in the form of the hormone, and this small quantity hormone have the profound effect on the organism's body. Now all the mammals, they produce the hormone, even the invertebrates also produce hormone, and their hormones are very different. It is maybe they produce the hormone in the form of the pheromones and the different type of the chemical messengers they produce. But here we are focusing to be very specific human hormones. Is that clear? So whatever endocrinology whole unit we will be studying about the it is a unit which is just deals with the hormone of the human. So as we are zoologists, we study the hormone of the various animal, but for this particular unit we will be talking about the man only. Now see how this signaling happens. As in the previous lecture I told you that the endocrine glands, they are just secreting their secretion into the blood vessel. So how it is reaching and how it is reacting to that particular target organ only. Say example, the pituitary gland has sent its secretion or has dumped its secretion inside the blood vessel, and it has to work on the gonads. So how the gonads only will come to know that yes, this particular hormone is for me? Any idea about it? Say example, if I am teaching this particular lecture and you are listening this particular lecture with your entire family, your dada, dadi, nana, nani, your brothers, your mummy, daddy, everyone is sitting to hear me. Okay, so what do you think? Whatever I am teaching, are they able to hear it or not? Yes. Can anyone tell me? Yes, Sakshi, do you think if I am teaching this lecture and you are watching it on your TV screen and other family members are also sitting, so will be able to hear this lecture or not?
Yes,
Yes or no?
yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So they will hear what. So same way, when these signals, these are dumped to the blood vessel, so it will reach to each and every organ. But now here, although your whole family is sitting to listen me, but only you and you as a zoologist will understand what I am teaching. Is it or not? So same way, the target organ which is having the receptor for that particular hormone will only be able to interact or will be able to accept that particular hormone. So this is the same way as your entire family is listening to me, but they will not understand a single word what I am teaching, because this is not their field. Even if I will start teaching on the loudspeaker on road, entire mob is gathered, but only and only the students, they are from the life science background, they will be only able to understand what exactly I am teaching. So this is the case. So this is about the hormonal signaling. Actually, our today's focus is the glands. Today we will be just talking about the glands. Here, general, when we talk about, we have two type of the gland. In the last lecture also I told you exocrine gland and the endocrine glands. When we talk about the endocrine glands, so these glands are the ductless gland, means they do not have any ducts or proper vessel system to distribute their secretion. But uh, as compared to the exocrine gland, if you will see, so exocrine glands, they have their own ducts to carry their secretion. So endocrine glands, these are the ductless gland. This is very important to remember. Endocrine glands, these are the ductless gland. They produce and secrete whatever hormone they form into the blood. Now see the what is the function of this particular hormone. See students, hormone, they function, or they, the most important function, they work in a stress condition to maintain the homeostasis. Now, see how your homeostasis is maintained, how your body knows that yes, your temperature must be 37 degrees Celsius, your blood osmolarity must be between 290 to 300 milliosmolars. How all these things have been managed. Now, see, these things are in control, is sensed by the brain is the one who is having control on each and every part of our body. So brain is controlling our body, and brain is sensing if any changes are there to the height. Brain is working, yes, the blood must be so 290 milliosmolar, and in short we can say the homeostasis of our body must be maintained. You all have learned the homeostasis in unit 2. In that we all have seen that homeostasis, it deals with temperature, pH, iron, or you can say the water concentration of our body. So all these things play a very important role to keep you alive. So if any disturbance is there in the homeostasis, the brain, it can sense, and in a very quick response brain gives the uh, command, or you can say order, to the endocrine system to produce the hormones to maintain this homeostasis. So how this homeostasis is maintained, you have already learned in your previous unit, but this particular unit we will be talking about how the action of the hormone is controlled. Now see, hormonal action and the neuronal action, these are into the reflex system with each other, they are working together. Actually all the body organ, all the body system, they all are synchronized. So how they all work, we will first, today's lecture, our focus will be just, we will be talking about the gland, how these glands work. So see, first of all, the hormone, they are very much specific on their organ. Say example, if the hormone is released for the gonad, so definitely the hormone will not go here and there, will interact with this metabolism, that metabolism. No, not at all. Hormone will just work on the specific organ, and this specific organ is just set as a target organ. What it is called as target organ. So, student point to be remember, the most important function of the hormone is that they have to maintain the homeostasis of the body, and apart from that, the hormone, they control the body's metabolism, body's growth, sexual development. These are the important function which is controlled by the hormone. So now let us talk about the mammalian gland. We had already discussed about all these things. Now see, we have the 10 endocrine glands in our body. First is the hypothalamus. It is the master of master gland. Master gland is the pituitary gland, but it works under the control of the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the, you can say the neuronal part, but it is releasing the releasing hormone. Okay, when we will be talking about hormone, that time we will be discussing about how it works, how its function. But today we will be in a simple way, we will just talk about these 10 glands and their systematic position in our body. Not much discussion will be there in this particular lecture. So hypothalamus is releasing the hormone which is giving signal to the pituitary. Now, pituitary gland is the gland which is controlling rest all the hormone. That's why it is called as the master gland, but hypothalamus is above that. It is giving signal to the pituitary gland, yes, you have to produce the hormone, so that's why it is called as the master gland. Then epiphysis is also called as the pineal gland, thymus, thyroid, parathyroid glands. Then pancreas, but your pancreas is having two function, exocrine as well as endocrine. Exocrine means it is having ducts, pancreatic duct. You just recall, we have learned the pancreatic juice which helps into the digestion and all. So that part is the exocrine part, and there are special bands that we will be discussing, that is called as the islets of Langergans, that is the endocrine part. Then epinephrine glands, these are the adrenal gland, and there are two sex glands, ovary in female and testis in the male. So these glands are also called as the gonads. Student, remember, the term gonads means the sex organ. There are various type of specific tissue, those who perform a special work, or they work in a target way. So they have a target function, so that is called as organ. But the organ which are very specific in doing, or you can say they are just doing the uh, controlling the reproductive health, so that is called as the sex organ. And sex organ, to be very specific, are called as the gonad. So let us discuss one by one about all the gland. First is the hypothalamus. So see, this is a part of brain only. They consist of number of small nucleus. Now see, each nucleus which is present into the hypothalamus, it is having a very, this is your hypothalamus, children, and you can see above that is your thalamus. And as it is present beneath the hypothalamus, beneath the thalamus, that's why it is called as the hypothalamus. So when you will observe the histology of the hypothalamus, you will find that it is having numerous small nuclei. So each nuclei, it is having the various function. When you will observe its position, so you can see from this picture only that it is present below the thalamus. Now see, as far as hypothalamus is concerned, it is present in all vertebrates. When we talk about mammals, so in the case of the mammal, they have two special type of the nucleus. I told you that they are having various nucleus, and each nucleus is having a task. So in the case of the mammal, they have the two specialized nucleus. The first, paraventricular nucleus, note it down, paraventricular nucleus, and supra optic nucleus. Now see why I am pointing this two nucleus, because this two nucleus is having their outgrowth inside the pituitary gland, and they are responsible for directly production of the hormone. Otherwise, rest all hormones which are produced by the hypothalamus, these are the releasing hormone which is secreted inside the hypophyseal portal system. Hypophyseal portal system means the circulatory system which is taking the blood from the thalamus, or you can say which is passing the hormone from the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland, is called as the hypophyseal portal system. So here, bacho, this particular part, this sorry, paraventricular nucleus and supraoptic nucleus, these two particular type of the nucleus are very specialized, and they have their outgrowth, or you can say their extension, inside the pituitary gland, and they directly produce two type of the hormone, that is called as the oxytocin, and antidiuretic hormone, that is also called as the vasopressin. So these two specialized hormones are produced by this hypothalamus only. Now, when we talk about other hormones, so yes, it produces other hormones as well. That is called as the releasing hormone. And as I had already mentioned, that these are just secreted inside the hypophyseal portal system, and this hormone will be diffusing to the anterior part of the pituitary gland, and it is going to regulate the function of the pituitary gland. So this is about the hypothalamus. Now next gland we will be talking about is the master gland, pituitary gland. Now you will observe that this is very much close with the hypothalamus. This pituitary gland here, it is pineal gland has been marked. Pituitary gland is this. Okay, this particular gland which is just present beneath, or you can say you can find it is in connection with the hypothalamus itself. Now see, pituitary gland, it is having the anterior part and the posterior part. Now its anterior part is totally different from the posterior part. Do you know why? Because their origin is totally different. This pituitary gland anterior part, now anterior part, it is having two subdivision also that we will talk later, but this anterior part, it is made up of the dermal cavity of your dermal buccal cavity. And when you will see its posterior part, so it is just originated directly from the brain. So posterior part, you can say, is the outgrowth of the brain, but anterior part has been found totally different way. Is that clear? So when we talk about its situation, so just located at the floor of the skull, just behind the optic chiasmata in the cavity of the sphenoid bone. See here, this particular cavity is having one name that you need to remember, that is sella turcica. I repeat, sella turcica. It can be spelled Turcica. Sella turcica. So this is a cavity which is present in the sphenoid bone. Now we know about the sphenoid bone, that it is just you can say present at the floor of our brain, or you can say the skull. So inside that sphenoid bone, there is one cavity. That cavity is named as sella turcica, and inside that this pituitary gland is been placed. When you will observe it, so you will find that it is very small round body. If you will take the weight, it is just 0.5 gram, but it is having very important role in your development, in your growth, and in each and every function. You can say lots many function are being controlled, and even the other endocrine glands are under control of is just 0.5 gram gland. When you will observe it, so it is lobular, it is having the anterior face. In the anterior face, it is having pars distalis and pars intermedia. Pars distalis is also, pars distalis, it is also called as the adenohypophysis. Just a minute, huh? Just thing. Pars distalis, it is also called as the adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis is the most anterior lobe, and pars intermedia, it is the middle lobe. And then we have the posterior lobe. As I told you, this is the posterior lobe. It is the extension of the nervous system, that is called as the neurohypophysis. Why it is called as the neurohypophysis? Because their hormone, hypophysis means the pituitary gland, their hormone is directly secreted from the neuronal part. Now, we have already discussed in the case of the hypothalamus that their nucleus, they are secreting the hormone of the neurohypophysis. Now this is one of the most important endocrine gland. It secretes hormone which regulates the function of other gland, as well as our body growth, sexual development, and other functions of the body. Everything is under control of the pituitary gland. Now next gland is the pineal gland. Pineal gland is also called as the Epiphysis, actually its name is Epiphysis only, but it's just look like a small peanut, so that's why it is called as a pineal gland. When we talk about the pineal gland epiphysis, it is a very small endocrine gland. It is located into the back portion of the third cerebral ventricle of the brain. Here, cerebral ventricle of the brain, here it is. Now when we observe it, it is flattened, it is cone shaped, it is gray body, very very small. It is only 5 to 8 millimeter, just a small gland in the length. Now see how it has been formed. It is formed by the specialized cell. Note down the name of cells: parenchymal cell, interstitial cell. Now students, you will have learned about the parenchymal cell. Can anyone tell me what is the important role of the parenchymal cell? Yes, what is the role of the parenchymal cell? Recall in botany you have learned this type of cell lots many times. Parenchymal cell are the specialized cell which have function like storage. They store whatever secretion are being produced in their body. And second type of the cells are the interstitial cell. Note down this type of cell as well. Interstitial cells are the special cells which are dispersed into the various type of the endocrine gland, and their secretion have a role in doing various type of the endocrine, or sometimes they just secrete the various type of the hormones. Say example, when we talk about in the case of the thyroid gland. So thyroid gland also you will find interstitial cells are present. They produce the calcitonin hormone. In the case of the testis, you will see your Leydig cell and all. These are the interstitial cell. Okay, so they are derived from the nerve cells. They means these cells, they are derived from the nerve cells, and what their role? So they secretes the melatonin hormone. What is this melatonin hormone? Melatonin hormone is also called as the happy hormone. See, most of the time it happens that doctor suggests that yes, whenever you are extremely tense, have chocolate, because it is believed that whenever any type of coca flavor we eat, so it just secrete the melatonin hormone which change our mood. And in short, this hormone is having a very important role in maintaining our mood. Okay. Apart from that, it plays a very important role in sexual and reproductive activity. Melatonin hormone, as it triggers by the darkness, so if it is not secreted in your body, lots many problem, you will get stress and many things. So although this gland is very very small, it is having a very important role in maintenance of your circadian rhythm. What is that? That is your sleep cycle. Then next gland is thymus. Now student, we have learned a lot about thymus in semester 5. Can you tell me what is the role of the thymus? Come on fast. I'm giving you hint as immunology. What is the role of thymus we have seen? Yes? Can anyone? Students, are you there with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So tell me what you know about the thymus. I had given you hint in immunology. We have
It's,
learned.
res- it's responsible for producing and maturing lymphocytes.
Excellent, Nasir. Thymus have role in maturing the T cells. So when we see its location, so it is present in the upper part of the chest. It covers the lower end of the trachea. It is a bilobed gland, partially endocrine and partially lymphoid structure. Now, what is the endocrine role? Endocrine role, that it secretes a special hormone, thymosin, Now, I hope you can recall that we have learned about this particular hormones secreted by the thymus when we were talking about the maturation of the T cells. So, this thymosin hormone have a very important role in development of the T lymphocyte. So, if you will observe the weight of this gland, so this gland varies, means it weighs varies as per the age. In infants during childhood, it is, in case of infants, it is very small and it gradually increase in size, and till your puberty it takes approximate 20 to 30 gram weight, and after the puberty it starts shrinking. So that's why we say that the immune system of adolescent is very much high, because the thymus gland is very active and at its full size mode in that particular age. So thymus, we all know that it is a very important gland, and if any problem in this particular gland, so that is going to affect your immune system. Now, next gland is your thyroid gland. When we talk about the thyroid gland, it is bilobed glands. You all can see in the diagram itself. Now, see these two lobes, they are connected with each other. That means they are connected with each other. They, it is a single gland only, but only lobes are there. So these lobes, they are connected with a special band of tissue, and the name of that tissue you note down is isthmus. Isthmus. Isthmus, it is just connecting this two lobe of the thyroid gland. Now, where it is situated? It is situated in the neck region near your trachea. What is the function? The function, if your thyroid is healthy, you are healthy. And when we talk about weight, so it is the second largest gland. The first largest gland is the pancreas. Second largest gland, it weighs about 25 gram. Now when we talk about how it is formed, so if you will see, inside the lobe also they have spherical follicular part. So when you will take the histology, you will find a proper follicular structure. So these follicles are also called as the acini. These follicles are very important in formation of the thyroid hormone. Apart from that, they are also producing thyrocalcitonin, and this thyrocalcitonin has been produced by the interstitial cell of the thyroid gland. And when we talk about the thyroid hormone, or you can say the thyroxine, so it regulates your blood pressure, it regulates your heart rate, it regulates other metabolism in your body. Now when we talk about the calcitonin, so calcitonin is a very important hormone which maintains your calcium level. Now see how they maintain. See, we will be talking about another hormone which is also having role in maintenance of the calcium, but that particular hormone works in opposite way. So remember how calcitonin works. Calcitonin stimulates bone cells to add calcium in the bone. That means if your blood calcium level goes beyond the limit, beyond the normal limit, so that particular time, whatever extra calcium is been present, so that calcium is been deposited inside your bone. Is that clear? I repeat, suppose say example X amount should be present in your blood, X amount of calcium, but you have some extra amount, so that extra amount must be absorbed by the bone. And if you have good calcium level, so that time your bones will be thicker and very strong. So next gland is the parathyroid gland. There are four oval parathyroid gland which is embedded into the posterior surface of the thyroid gland. This is posterior as well as the lateral side, as you all can see. So these are the different gland, but these are embedded inside the thyroid gland itself. Now their shape and size vary into the different mammal, but when we talk about in case of the human, So they are approximate 0.02 to 0.5 gram. Mean size, if we will take a single parathyroid gland, it is approximate 5 into 5 into 3 mm. It produces the parathor hormone, that is PTH. Now see, this also regulates the calcium and the phosphorus level. But how? So see, whenever their blood calcium level is below the normal limit, so that particular time this hormone does the calcium desorption, मतलब बोन से calcium को extract करता है and it releases inside the blood. Now next gland is our adrenal gland. It is also called as the supraanal gland. Why it is called as supraanal gland? Because it is present above the this kidney. That's why it is also called as the suprarenal gland. Because you know that the term renal, it's related to the kidney. So it is called as the suprarenal glands because it is present top of the kidney. Now it is also called as the cap of the kidney. Right side gland, if you will observe, so it is just triangular, but when you will see the left side gland, so it is bit semilunar shape. Each gland is about 5 to 9 gram into the adult, and it decreases in the size when age increases. At the time of the birth, weight will be 16 to 20 times greater than the adult. Each gland consists of the peripheral part, it is called as the cortex, central part, medulla, and two parts structurally, embryologically, and functionally are totally different. When we talk about the secretion, so this gland secretes corticosteroid. Now, importance of the corticosteroid we will discuss into the hormonal part. It maintains salt and the mineral balance. There are hormone which is released in the response to the stress. We'll stop for this point.